Is it live?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's live. Don't forget you live, so say hello, good evening or something.
Hey, can you come to that part? Can you come to the intro? All right, I can't do it this way. I got it.
All you gotta do is say hello, and can you give me a second to get set up?
Hey guys, can you give me a second? I'm just trying to grab this information. Okay. All right. So I ain't gonna lie. Um, I was definitely thrown into this live. Um, Let me get a sound together here. All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me clearly. Um, I don't see the little microphone thingy to tell you if you got sound. Um, so I'm just gonna guess that it's working and go ahead and get started. So, all right. So what I was saying is kind of got thrown into doing this live. Um, okay, thank you. All right, awesome. So yeah, I kind of got thrown into this this live. Grounded asked me to review some of my thoughts and present them as information for y'all to consume. So this is that. Um, the topic. I'm not sure if it has a little title thingy on there on the YouTube, but the topic is going to be things that we lost in the fire. And basically, what I'm gonna do is just I want to review just my thoughts on a quote um, Now, I will be honest with y'all. I don't like third party information. I ain't gonna hold you. Um, but the source for the time, I would say, is reputable. Um, but so these are my thoughts on this quote, and then we got a short video, and I'm just going to expound from there. The people that we're talking about in this case is Harry Belafonte and Martin Luther King Jr. So the reason why I labeled this things that we lost in the fire is because um, two reasons. One, because as a member of my own community, I feel like I'm responsible to to speak on things that are happening within our community, be they good or bad. Like I just feel like I'm a member of the community, so um, I am not qualified in any way. I'm not nobody's doctor, nothing like that. I don't have no type of degrees and all that other stuff. I'm just a member of the community, and these are my personal takes, my opinions on watching the behavior, the growth, and in some cases, the decline of the community that I am a part of. All right, so I hope that was good enough for a disclaimer. So I'm gonna jump right into, let's do the boring stuff first. All right, so I think I can share my screen now. I just learned how to do this with some proficiency. So let's see. This should go a lot better. All right, cool. All right, looks like it's doing it. All right, bet. Grounded is in there giving me a round of applause because I did that part right. So, all right, so what we're going to focus on is this paragraph right here. Hopefully, you can see my cursor going around it. And I'll just give you a little walk into it. It says, in a conversation with singer, actor, activist, and longtime friend Harry Belafonte, shortly before his death, King's shift in thinking could not be clearer. According to Belafonte, King said, I've come upon something that disturbs me deeply. We have fought hard and long for integration, as I believe we should have, and I know we will win. But I have come to believe that we are integrating into a burning house. I'm afraid that America has lost the moral vision she may have had. And I'm afraid that even as we integrate, we are walking into a place that does not understand that this nation needs to be deeply concerned with the plight of the poor and disenfranchised. Until we commit ourselves to ensuring that the underclass is given justice and opportunity, we will continue to perpetuate the anger, pay attention to that, the anger and the violence that tears the soul of this nation. I fear I am integrating my people into a burning house. So again, this is um, again not the these are the words of Martin through another party, Mr. Harry Belafonte. This is him saying that this is what Martin told him. Um, and I want you to pay attention to. I probably shouldn't stop sharing the screen. Hold on, let me go back real quick. I want you to pay attention to this part of what he told Mr. Belafonte. He said, we all know that, having a lower class in any nation of people, there's always going to be a lower class. Okay, that ain't the thing. What he said is that ignoring that underclass, right, or doing injustice to that underclass starving them of opportunity, right? He said the outcome of that is going to be anger, perpetual anger. Now, he didn't even say who. He just said us in total. This is America. This is where we live at. Anger and violence. He said that's going to continue. And because, to bring it back to my community, because we are integrated into the society, whereas one time we were not. We were segregated from the society, which meant that for the younger people, it's going to seem weird because we are so many years from this. But it's more than just not being able to go to the same restaurant or eat at the same table with somebody who does not look like you. What also comes with integration is culture. That means that, and this is anywhere where humans dwell, if you take your shoes off when you come into your house, and that is part of your culture, it's just something that you do, and you integrate into a people who do not take their shoes off when they come into their home, one of two things is going to happen. Either a new culture will be born that'll be a mixture of the two, or one way of doing it will rule out over another. This is anywhere you see humans. This is just normal human stuff. This is just what we do. Almost lost my train of thought. The reason why that is important is because one of the beautiful things about humans is that we are free to inhabit, to embody, to grab any idea from the ethos and practice it, no matter where it is or how strange it may be. That is our ability as humans on planet Earth. We can espouse any idea and we can say, this is what we stand on, this, whatever that idea is. We can build entire cultures and civilizations behind those ideas. The converse of that is also true. There are some ideas that destroy us as humans. Don't stop us from doing them, though. People drink alcohol. I have a beer occasionally. I drink alcohol. But it's possible to drink so much alcohol that it destroys my routines, my relationships, all of that. It's possible to overdo it. So then drunkenness as an idea is probably not recommended. It's not a good idea. You won't go far as an individual. Well, if you are a culture of people who espouse drunkenness, the same will be true for you. What's true for the individual typically stretches out and touches the rest of the people. It's just human behavior is how we do it. All has to happen is just for that idea to take root and for people to pass it, learn it, like it. I doubt make it into an idol, which is put it above everything else, and then pass it on. It's human nature. That's what we do. So hopefully I'm not droning on, but these ideas, these integration of ideas is what I want to focus on. Okay. Because prior to integration, we did not have the same practices as we have today. And I'm going to try not to judge any practice. I'm just going to try to present them as they are. And I want y'all to think about them. I already been thinking about it. So I'm just presenting it and I want y'all to think about it. All right. So here's Harry Belafonte. real quick, him meeting or him talking about what we just read. Here, I think it's full screen. Yes. Sorry about that.
Integrating into a burning house.
Ooh, sorry.
On an integration trip that has us deeply concerned, that I suspect we are leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. Most of the politicians I know of make promises only to walk into the places of power and then deny us. I guess part of the reason I'm here is to really look through the ravages of the Democratic Party and see if anything is really worth salvaging.
So, real quick, just to explain it, Mr. Belafonte was talking about this from a political level, with the Democratic Party being part of the House, the Senate, House of Representatives, I'm sorry, and versus the Republican Party and so forth and so on. It is my opinion that is not what Dr. King was talking about. In my opinion, Dr. King was talking about America as a whole, as a place, as a country, as a land. I think he was saying that the continuation of continuing to disregard certain people, just the treatment of certain people. If you continue on that path, there is only one outcome, and that was, as he said, more anger, more violence. What that means is that your society, right, it won't get better over time. Over time, it's going to get worse in your society because of a simple thing, very simple, which is taking care of the people who can't take care of themselves. Okay. All right. Again, this is an idea, right? So I want to go back to I want y'all to read this too. I'm going to force y'all to read because I had to read it, so y'all don't have to read it. All right, real quick. Let me get this another tab open. All right. Just a second, real quick, guys. I just gotta type it into this search bar here. All right, here we go. All right, so present again, share screen, this tab, share, shift, tab. All right, get out of there. Okay, so this. All right. I thought it would go straight to it. It looks like it will not, so I just have to try to find it on this webpage, which should be pretty simple. Of school integration. Hopefully Please come up. Come on. Here we go. Please be it. Are you it? That timeline. That's great. That's not at all what I want. Dang it. I'm sorry, y'all. I may have to just type this out, which is sorry. It's gonna take me a second. Okay. Justice.org. Justice.org /. And the US. Okay. Please be it. Dang. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I actually spelled something wrong or if I'm not sure what I did wrong here, y'all. I'm gonna go hold you. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I did wrong. So the other thing I can do is I can just read it to you. What's that? It's, okay, one more time. I got one more thing I can try. Just a second. Share this. You know. Okay. Got one more way I can share this. Okay. Perfect. All right. It worked. All right. Cool. So y'all can see what I'm seeing. All right. So we're going to jump. We're not going to do the whole timeline. What I want to just jump to is the time that Martin was talking about. Okay. In 1955, well, let's do 60. Let's do the 60s. Yeah. 1964. And I'm jumping in 10-year increments too. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but I'm jumping in 10-year increments. So I'm going to start at 64. All right. In 64, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is adopted. Title IV of the Act authorizes federal government to file school desegregation cases. Title IV of the Act prohibits discrimination in programs, activities, including schools receiving federal financial assistance. Right. So in 64, they legally said, we're going to have to integrate all these schools. You can go between 64 and 74 and see that in 10 years, the Supreme Court blocks metropolitan-wide desegregation plans as a means to desegregate urban schools with high minority populations. As a result, Brown will not have a substantial impact on racially isolated urban districts. So the whole idea was to mix the schools. That was what the integration was supposed to be about, right? But they say in 10 years, right, the whole idea of metropolitan-wide desegregation plans as a means to desegregate the schools where all the black kids go basically has no impact. It's not going to work, right? So they start off by saying we're going to get the black kids in the schools with the whites. 10 years later, they saying, psych. Not really. That's not really what this is about. So my question is, if Martin at the time in 64, if he was trying to work for this, and then he changed his mind and said, shit, we might be going into a place that's so violent and so biased and so bigoted that they can't stop themselves. They can't help it. Nothing's going to change. It's the way they are. 10 years later, 74, the Supreme Court blocks metropolitan-wide desegregation plans. So the Negroes are going to have to go to school with the Negroes. Ain't that what they said they was trying not to do? To have their schools segregated? So the idea was to get things together, right? To put things together. Integration. But no, that's not really happening. So my question is, what did happen? Martin said, we're going into this building. It's on fire. It's on fire with violence. And he only said that because they were at war at the time. The nation was at war. So he said that from a place of, this is how we are. This is how America is. We violent and angry. And we'll take whatever we want when we go across the planet Earth. So now at home, we don't take care of people that are lesser than us. That's not what we do. That's not the culture. So he saw that culture and he said, I'm afraid of my people going into that. Why? What were his people like at that time? We know that his opinion of the nation that we live in was that they're warlike people. They like some war. They like some guns, and some bang, bang, some bombs, blowing shit up. They like that. That's their thing. So if we were like that, then there would be nothing to be afraid of, would it? But apparently we weren't like that. We weren't known to be violent and angry. That wasn't a thing. Look at this. Look at this with me. Hold on. I gotta be. Oh, shucks. Did I share the screen? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. I just put in a search. I put in Negro, but I forgot. the technology is what do you call it? is the technology accounts for the culture of now and not the culture of then. So even if when you're doing history and you're looking backwards, you have to remember that you're looking from now, and you have to modify your searches in order to get what you are actually looking for. Just a researching thing. But I want y'all to look at these pictures with me, right? All right. I just want to make sure you guys see it, what I'm seeing. Okay. 1957. Just African Americans being African American. At this time, we were known as Negroes. You'll see something that's very consistent in these photos. Try to make this one bigger. Oh, will they let me do it? They won't. That's fine. Ooh, let's look at this one. Ebony Magazine. Can we make it bigger? Okay. Imagery is very important. Martin with his family, Jackie with his family. Oh, they all the same guy. Okay, hold on. Let's get you some more. Yeah, how about these? There's a wedding. I'm gonna blow this one up. Can we get the pig? Dang. Black family. Black family. Oh, remember. Come on, give us the Cheltenham, the Cheatham family. There we go. Look at that one. Y'all seeing what I'm seeing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chilling? Y'all see that, right? Okay. Okay. Give me this one. Come on. Give me that one. I want this one. Just go to the website. It won't get it. All right. Whatever. Ooh, sorry. 1 of 1. No worries. We'll just keep going. I want to go through different pictures because I don't want you to have the family on porch in Nashville, Tennessee. Can't verify that everybody in this family is actually family, though. It's just a picture. But before I throw my thoughts out there, just want y'all to see what I'm seeing, or just to look at stuff and see if you see what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm crazy. All right, I'll stop sharing. All right. Point being, that was the family from 50s and 60s. Remember how I said that we as humans we're individuals, but then we're an extension of that individual. So we just multiply those character traits. One of the character traits that we had in 65 was a lot of kids. Check in your family. Check your grandparents. How many siblings they had, or how many if you look at your grandparents' children, how many of their children had a lot of kids. Sometimes it keep going. But in 65, and it's just my opinion, the individual, right, man and woman, wasn't arguing over 50-50. They was putting 100% in and making a bunch of babies. What value system did they have in 65? What value system makes you have the man and the woman be married, stay married, and have a whole bunch of kids? What were their values? Are they the same as the values we have now? Just something to think about, right? So in 65, in my opinion, the individual, dad, mom, were present. They were building families, right? So if they were building families, they had to have what we call today the nuclear family as a value. That was just the culture at that time. That means marriage. That means anything that would go with raising a family would have been a major value at that time. What's also true then, the converse, and that's just my opinion, would be that things that break the family apart, those things would be, if you want to call them, anti-values. So let's say it's 65, right? And me and the group of the guys are talking, and this guy says, in the group of men, one of the men says, "Man, I think I got my girl pregnant." All the rest of the men in the group will be like, "When's the wedding?" If that man responded with something that wasn't something like a wedding date, or at least some plan to get with this girl and make it right, he would be shamed by us. Because our value system would be, when you get with a girl, if you knock her up, you marry her. You make a family with her. Because that would be the value system at the time. So the anti-values can't stand. Right? You got to do something. The other men would pressure that man into doing the quote unquote right thing. If those were the values of the time. We're talking about 65 now. So I'm going to jump. Oh, here's something that'll tickle your brain. Watch this. Share screen. All right. Share new tab. Yeah. Here we go. Are you guys getting this? I hope you're getting this. Oh, did I? Share. Sorry. And then, okay, so that should make it normal. Yes, it's normal. All right. Here's something that'll tickle your brain, or it just tickled my brain up. Maybe I'm weird, but okay. It's 1965. The number one song is I Feel Fine by the Beatles. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, the Supremes. You guys, this is before any of us was born. Well, I don't know who's listening, but this is before our time, me and Grounded. So this is a group. They were an American girl group. Okay, let's see what kind of girls they were. You see them, right? Okay. Enough said. They were a girl group. Their song, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ooh, I might have went too fast. Sorry. The song is Come See About Me. Oh, where's that? Okay. Come See About Me. Now, if you really, really want to go down a rabbit hole, look up the lyrics of this song, right? And just read them. I ain't gonna go through all that because that would be too much. But I found it interesting. Just look them up. Look them up, read them. I ain't gonna put you through all that. But needless to say, the values are reflected in the music. So just look at them. Look at the words. Another one, if you want to, another one that'll make it kind of go, is if you look at that was the ladies, but there were oh, I don't know what happened there. There were some fellas out at the time too, called the Temptations. They had a song that was on the charts at that time. The song was called My Girl. If you want to just get a snapshot of the value system in 65, read the words of the Supremes, Come See About Me. Read the words of the Temptations song, My Girl. Read the words. Don't sing the song. Just read the words. Right? And examine them as just a social scientist. You're just trying to see what these people talking about. What they up to over here. Okay? Do that. And then if you really, really, really want to be mad, because that's what I got, angry, read the words of a song in 1975 and 1985, 1995, and keep doing that every 10 years. Go to your number one male and number one female group or guy, or whatever it is. It could be a lady single, a group, or whatever. But you want to do both sides. And you do that every 10 years. And what you'll see is that the value system changes. It changes drastically. But remember what King said. He said that this is an America problem. This is an all of us problem. But the problem was the neglecting of the lower class. Right? Now I'm going to get biblical for y'all. Sorry. I gotta do it. Are y'all familiar with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? I hope I don't lose the people who are like not really into the Bible stuff. That is not my intention. But it's a story like any other. So the part I'm gonna focus on, whenever you say, listen, oh, am I sharing the screen? I'm not. Sorry. Share the screen. Oh man. Let's do the good old King James. I just got the easy stuff. Yep. Oh, let's just. I got a quicker way of doing this. I'm sorry. I can do this way easier. Yep. Keywords. Easy. Pretty good. Now, the reason why okay. A lot of people will focus on Sodom and Gomorrah, and when you even say that, their mind goes directly to the story in Genesis. The reason why I want y'all to take into account this is just something that I took into account when looking at these stories. When you get out of Genesis and you look at some of the other verses where this story is mentioned, come on. Oh, sorry, wrong verse. When you look at some of these other verses, you actually get a clear, not a, I would say for me, I got a clearer understanding of exactly what was done. What was the problem? Dang it, I just forgot the actual verse where it is, but oh, here we go. In Ezekiel. Okay. Look at this. When you talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, people always say, oh, Sodom and Gomorrah is about, homosexuality or whatever, right? That's what they always talk about. Okay. Go through this with me real quick. This was in Ezekiel. And for a little bit of context, this is the prophet talking about the northern kingdom versus the southern kingdom, how they are related to Sodom and Gomorrah by what they were doing, the sins that they were committing. And it tells you what they are. He says, thine elder sister is Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwell at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Yes, yet hast thou not walked in their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if they were a very little thing. So basically, you took this like this was nothing, right? And you was corrupted by more than they. More than they in all thy ways. So you basically did worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, right? As I live, saith the Lord God, or Yah Eloheinu, however you read it, Sodom and thy sister have not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, and thou and thy daughters. So basically, you're doing worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. But what is the thing you're doing? Now, referencing you as referencing the people in the feminine, right? So what are they doing? Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride. Pride? Not homosexuality. Pride. fullness of bread, not homosexuality, but fullness of bread. Now, how the heck can that be a sin? What are you saying? You saying I got a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, what do you, I got the money phone? That's what you're saying? So I got the money phone, and that's the oh my, am I even in the, can you see my page? Can you see the
Yes, babe. You have people watching you. What's going on?
okay, never mind. Because I'm looking at, it doesn't say what I just,
Babe, everything is working. Keep going.
okay. Share this title. I wasn't sharing it.
What?
I wasn't sharing it. It says share this tab. I think I was.
Bible link?
Yeah.
I was just looking at you. Okay.
Share that one?
Whatever, guys.
All right, anyway. Sorry, guys. Fullness of bread, anyway. So basically you saying that I got the money phone, right? And you saying that's the sin? Just having the bread, having way too much bread? Like, so I can't be a millionaire? What are you saying? It says fullness of bread and the abundance of idleness. The abundance of idleness. So that's having a whole lot of free time? Wait, free time? How is that a sin? Okay, an abundance of idleness was in her and her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and the needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore I took them away as I saw good. So the sins ain't mentioned one lick of, maybe not a lick, but it ain't mentioned no homosexuality in this. But it did mention something that's very, very similar to what Martin said. He said, I fear that the people that I'm integrating my people into are warlike people who do not take care of their lower classes of people. That's what he said. And that's very similar to what this right here says. The sins was pride. Having a lot of bread. That ain't a problem. The problem ain't the bread. The problem is with your time and you have all this free time, you see people who are lesser than you in a worse situation. What you do with that free time is you don't help them. You got the bread. The problem is not the bread. The problem is that you'll see somebody that don't have nothing and you won't help them. That's the sins of Sodom, not homosexuality. Just walk past somebody who's in need and don't help them. That's all you gotta do. And you, my friend, will be committing the same sins of Sodom. Just have pride unchecked. And you'll be doing the same sins of Sodom. So, interesting enough, when you look at the culture of the time that Martin was in, I want to get y'all back to these. I want y'all to just see what I'm seeing. See some of these pictures, man. It's not even you ain't gotta look hard, just put it that way. Watch this. All right. All right, I was born in 78, so let's do 75. After 1975. Come on, can we get like we just want, let me just, okay. So I go to 70s. Oh, this OJ, come on. Oh, OJ. This is too early. It's about right. Look at this. That's about the 70s. About right there. Uh-oh. Where we go? Oh, really? That's what we done? Okay. I got you. What, this one? Just around the time I was born, in the 70s, right? Still together, right? But what else happened in 75 in our country? Significant. Look at this. Top of the thing. The British Conservative Party chooses its first woman leader. There you go. I ain't even have to look that far. But I don't want to be unfair, so let's just look at America. Just America, United States. There we go. Look at the wiki for this, because this ain't got to be super scientific. We just want silly stuff that just happened. That's almost too detailed. Without leading the audience, the 70s were the decade of significant events surrounding women. Watch this. No, we don't want a coupon. Thank you. And 70, it starts with bored white women. And by 75, let's do 74. The Fair Housing Act of 1968 was amended to prohibit the discrimination based on sex, along with race, color, religion, and national origin. Pay attention to that. Now, in 75, the United Nations declared 1975 International Women's Year. So all across the whole earth, women are being told that they can be whatever they want to be. So for the next 10 years, let's get back to women go out to do great things. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I'm not trying to be smart. Women go do great things. Let's see, we did 1975. Let's see what happens 8 years later. course, an error happened. Of course. $1985. Now, this is a picture of members of a group called Move. They were in Philly. At this time, they were basically developing a counterculture because in 1985, actually, let's do this. Well, Grounded always talks about this. She remembers this when she was a little kid. The United States started what they call the war on drugs. And this war was taking place only in the inner cities. So it was a war on drugs and a simultaneous war on the poor people because they felt it the most. Come on, don't do this to me. Come on. All right. We can skip over the drugs for guns. If you don't know about that, look it up. I ain't got time. There's too much stuff going on.
Don't overwhelm yourself.
All right. Oh, wow. They didn't even go into. Okay, cool. We're just going to skip over it. All right, you guys, I was looking for. I don't like to just tell people stuff that seems weird to me. I'd rather you see it for yourself or we can discuss it, research it. I don't just want to sit here like I'm telling you stuff like I'm so smart or something. So, but anyway, in 1985, we were at the height of the crack epidemic, which started in 75. So the same year, the same 10-year period in which they were telling women, this is your year. From here on out, this is going to be about you. You're going to get equality. You're going to get these things, advancement. You're going to get all these things, right? And it seemed like a great deal. What was also happening simultaneously is that the men were being replaced in the workspace, and they were being replaced at the same time that their communities, and especially inner city communities, were being assaulted with the drugs. The drugs were coming from outside the country. As somebody once put it plainly, Black folks don't got no boats, so we can't bring the drugs into the country. So they were bringing the drugs into the country, chopping them up, making them smaller, making them more potent, and putting it into the urban community. So what was lost? From 65 to 75, right, after integration, 10 years, we go into this integrating of schools, right, where your mom used to teach you or you had a teacher in the community, right? We lose that. Okay, that's gone. Community, by 75, is your coworkers, because now you can work side by side with people that you couldn't work with before. You were relegated to different positions. So this integration, 10 years, gives you effectively a new community. Now, remember what Martin said. The community that we are integrating into, their value system is different than ours. And I'm afraid. What was he afraid of? Remember, he was a biblical guy. That's why I took you to the Bible real quick. In my opinion, he was afraid of what Ezekiel was saying. If you practice the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah, then your punishment has to be just like theirs. You got to get taken out of here. If you are full of pride and you refuse to help the people at the bottom, you got to go. Sodom and Gomorrah burned. Martin said, this thing right here is already on fire. They already treat the people at the bottom bad. They already sinning like Sodom and Gomorrah. The difference, though, was that we weren't. The soul of the country was not behaving that way. It had not been corrupted yet. We behaved in a different way at that time. But in 75, we got the advent of the woman in the workplace, right? So mom can now go work. So before, we had the single house, single income household. What they sold it to you was that now you can have two incomes in a household. You can make more money. But the same people that was hiring mom wasn't hiring dad. So the nuclear family values was dad makes the money. He brings it home to mom. Mom divvies it up, make sure everybody got everything that they need. That was the way it went. It's very rudimentary, very basic, but it worked. Because as you saw, the further you go back, the more community children that you have. Because those values are there. Those nuclear values are there. So mom goes to work. Mom's bringing home the bread. No big deal. But dad's not bringing home anything or not enough. So what happens between 75 and 85? Well, some dads realize that it's this thing out here making a lot of money. I'm about to go do that because I ain't just going to be sitting around begging or waiting for my woman to feed me. I'm supposed to be feeding her. That's my core value. So dad went out there to try to do that. It didn't work out for dad. Because in 85, they were at the height of the war on crime. Not going to go through that with you. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And the war on crime jailed all of the dads. Because you can't make money selling drugs. Only pharmacists can do that. So millions of dads out of here. Now mom's still there. She's making the money. Right? It's 85. She's empowered. She's doing her thing. Just with no dad. Now some of our dads were not entrepreneurs. Some of our dads were good workers, which you need in any society. Okay. There are people who just show up to work. They don't have any bright ideas about how to make it better, how to run this and that. No. But they'll show up every day and work their ass off. And that's what they take pride in. Those men, when they didn't have anywhere to go to do what they know how to do, turned to drugs. The drugs took those men out. So what do we lose? Between 75 and 85, we lost dad. And we lost mom. Because mom used to be the glue. The reason why everybody has a grandma that they know and love, and grandma had all the kids over there and cooking and all that, is because that's what grandma used to be, because that's what mom used to be. Mom used to be the glue. because dad used to go out and make the money, do the work, or whatever he had to do. Be an entrepreneur in some cases just work for someone else who is an entrepreneur. But dad came home every day and they kept making all them babies because that was their value system. Mom didn't say, dad is making 70, I'm only getting 30. I don't like this setup here. That wasn't a value. Are the kids fed? Yes. No bellies is empty? Yes. What is that value? It's the opposite of the one that is mentioned in Ezekiel, the pride. The pride being the sin. What would be the virtue? What's the opposite of pride? Humility. Humility. How humble do you have to be a grown-ass man and walk into a place where you get zero respect and call people younger than you sir, and they call you boy, and then give you your paycheck. Give you your paycheck, boy. What kind of humility do you have to take that paycheck? Go home to your wife. Give her that check and say, I hope this is enough to cover everything. What kind of humility do you have to have as a woman of that man, grown-ass man who just got called a boy by somebody who's actually a boy to him? What kind of humility do you have to look at that man and say, thank you, baby, with a smile? Cook him dinner. Treat him like he just brought $1 million home. What kind of humility do you have to be that type of woman? Well, grandma was that type of woman. That was the value system that they had at that time. So today, we going to go past 85 and do 95, from 85 to 95. We done already lost community first. There's no us anymore. Okay. Whatever we had between one another is dissolved. We are now integrated. Whatever they doing, that's what we doing. Okay. So community is gone. Another 10 years after community, we lost mom and dad. Another 10 years after that, we talking 85 to 95. What did we lose? Well, let's look at 95. Let's do the music. Let me share this real quick. Share screen. Okay. Open new tab. Can you share the new tab? All right. Let's do the wait, am I sharing? Do y'all see I'm typing? I hope. Share. Okay, yes. There we go. All right. 1995. Oh yeah. This is the year, y'all. Look at this. Number 1. Gangsta's Paradise. Good times. Now, normally I wouldn't do this to y'all, but I'm going to do this to y'all. Yep. Yeah, we're doing it. It's boring. Yeah, I know. But guess what? I am not here to entertain you. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I look at my life and I realize there's nothing left. Because I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talking and where you walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. Martin said, I fear that they'll become angry. Angry. Now, I said lyrics, idiot. We don't need rap genius for this. We are intelligent and we can read and understand. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. This is the top song by the males, okay, in our community in 65. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl. My girl. That's what makes me feel like this. In 95, when Coolio was talking about what's going on in the community at that time, where the hell is his girl? I don't even see. Oh, am I sharing this? Dang it. Sorry. I'm not sharing. I don't even see a reference. Hold on. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I can't live a normal life. So something in us is wanting us to be normal, but the situation, the circumstance around us is saying, no, you don't get that. This is 30 years after integrating. He said, I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the stripes, so I got to go down with the hood team. Too much television got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind, got my 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my, oh shit. There it go. Don't arouse my anger. Because 30 years ago, this wasn't even a thing. This wasn't even a thing. But after absorbing the ways, see, because when you get integrated into a thing, right? In order for you to fit in, there's got to be space, or else you won't fit. Right? Two things can't occupy the same place at the same time. So just very simply, when you were integrated, where did you go? What part of the society did you occupy? What lane was open for you to be integrated? Did I read to y'all already that the timeline of integration and how basically in 74, I told you in 74, the Supreme Court blocked the desegregation plans, right? Which left the black students, the poor schools, inner city schools, still segregated. So if that didn't work, then what the heck? What changed? What changed for you? Because you didn't overwhelmingly get to go to new schools. Kathy Green said the neighborhoods turn into hoods. Yeah. But it didn't happen by itself or by mistake. The key to this that I'm bringing y'all to is that all of this is ideas. It's just ideas. There was an idea that a man and a woman should be like this with one another, and this is how the family should be, and this is how the community should be. We lost those ideas when we got integrated into a burning house.
We still accomplishing dreams out there.
We were thoroughly integrated. So the dream, although he said himself, has become a nightmare for his people. See, because what he understood is that the place that we are trying to be in does not have a place for us that is going to reflect our value system. If you watch your current TV, it's 2024. So we did 74, 95. I mean, I skipped about 20 years, but same thing. Watch TV now. Watch your people. Oh my God, watch Tubi. Oh my God.
Leave it alone. Leave
No.
Tubi alone.
No.
You better leave
Nah.
Tubi alone.
Nah.
It's the cornerstone of America.
Yeah, watch Tubi. Watch Tubi. Y'all already probably watched Tubi. What am I saying? If she watched Tubi, I know y'all watching Tubi.
Oh, don't say she like you don't be watching it with me. Don't you start. Because I'll be in here showing recordings and you love it too.
Loving Tubi? I don't know about that.
Enjoy it too.
That's a bit much.
Enjoy it too. Whatever.
What I'm saying though is the value system has changed. All I'm asking y'all to do is look at what you lost and ask yourself, is it worth it?
Yeah, these things think they free.
Because the house is still on fire.
But they don't see that. If they can't see
And
it.
if you, I guess if you don't see it, then keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Rock out. You're good. But if
managed to get one of them in every household now, it's one of them in every household.
and
Every
integration
family
is complete. Yeah. So I mean, without I don't know how to say this.
Say what you gotta say. Fuck all that.
I don't even know how to say this shit.
I can say
Part okay, I was saying make a place. So all right, a place was made for you. But if I tell you perfect example, but I'm showing my age in this one. The Simpsons, right? Mr. Burns had Homer come back to his job, right? Because he wanted to give him his job back. But he made him enter through a different door or something like that of his office. And the door was like kind of small, right? So Homer had to get down on his hands and knees to go through the door. And it wasn't nothing but a tunnel to Mr. Burns's desk. Basically, you come out the other side of his desk on your hands and knees. Now ask for your job back. So there is a place for you. But ask yourself, what place was made for you? We already said, you saw, and I showed you that the school segregation in 64, when he said, we're going to desegregate these schools, was not achieved. So what was integrated? We know that there's single since 74, 75, since Women's International Day, that mom has been out of the house. All of you mothers know you all work. Aren't you happy to be working? Especially after you get pregnant. Doesn't that make you feel good to leave your child with a perfect stranger and go to work? That's your value system now. I'm not questioning your value system. I'm just saying if your outcome is not what you want it to be, maybe you should question your value system. Because Martin did. He started off by saying, these people are not like my people. Today, I would say my people are a lot like their people. So much so that I can't tell the difference between my people and their people.
I can. My
So-
people still on the low bar, on the low part of the spectrum.
Yeah. Besides that, besides their status as being
Humans.
in the basement, because they allowed you to move into the basement. Besides that, I don't see any difference. Not really. And whether or not that's a good or bad thing is up to y'all. I mean, do you wash your legs? I do. All right, I'm out. It was an hour and a half. I hope that the lesson was made sense, and I got no questions, so that's good. Wait, Kathy Green said never watched. What was I talking about just now? I don't know what I was talking about, but she said never watched it. It might have been The Simpsons. Maybe I was talking about The Simpsons. Yeah. But all right, guys. There's no more questions. I'm out. Be safe and think about thinking.